The new update has released! There's a lot of new and exciting stuff in this update. New history missions, new raid, and a lot of new moves. We already knew some of this information. However, there's even more that we didn't know. First, we will be looking at the new history missions. There are 14 new history missions. You can get 6,000 stats and 9 new moves from completing them all. And I won't even lie, some of these are kind of crazy. I have conducted multiple tests that will show both the animations and damages of the move. However, since there are 9 of these moves, I will have to blitz through them all. Super explosive flash strike. Not really much to say about it. Twin Dragon Fist looks very cool, and I absolutely love the explosion effects. Infinity Flasher is very basic. However, it can be paired with any key move, so who knows how crazy that can get. Dynamite Kick has a 50% chance of doing no damage. Very lore accurate. Meteor Crash is one of my favorite moves in Dragon Ball. Really glad to see it's here. Double Gallic Gun is very whimsical. Burst Rush is kinda basic, but I like the movement. Unless I'm missing something, Evil Flame is kinda ass. It has no range, does no damage, and is kinda lackluster in the effects as well. Split Finger Shot is very good. Even at 1%, it killed the dummy instantly, so honestly, I have no idea how much damage it actually does. And that's all the history mission moves. Overall, I really like the moves here. Even though most of them were rush moves, they were all very well made. However, there's also 2 remade moves, Pelican Attack and Meteor Combination, which both look like great upgrades to the originals. As you can see, the camera movement and animations are clearly much better than before. Before I get to the biggest part of the update, I gotta talk about the new Power Pole weapon. The Power Pole has some great animations, and they're no doubt from OG Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Daima. Even though the animations are very clean, it does have some basic combos. But overall, I could say this is probably gonna be a fairly good weapon, especially for newer players since it's only from the Raditz raid. Now then, on to the new raid. The raid is in fact Goku Black, and you can actually find the raid in the space map, where there's a new destroyed Earth planet. The new moves introduced in this raid might be the best moves in the game. There are 3 new moves, and starting off with Super God Combination. This move is pretty simple, however it does have some crazy background animations. Personally, it is my least favorite from the raid bunch, but it's still high tier for sure. Shattering God Slicer is another more simple move, however it does have a Keyblade and some really nice effects. The craziest move from the update is certainly Ultra Divine Dance. It has incredible effects, amazing animation, and even the concept alone is just so cool. I'm definitely gonna use this move more than the others. The Goku Black raid also drops a 3D version of Goku Black's outfit, and honestly, this is my favorite 3D outfit, hands down. This update also introduced console support, which, I mean, I've tried it and it works well enough. Hopefully the addition of console supports allow a lot of people who wanted to play the game to actually be able to play the game. Another big change happening in the update is certainly the Saiyan Passive, which has been changed from being a passive skill that just randomly happens to an actual T skill that you can control. This one change has made the Saiyan Passive far better. So far, I would say this has been a pretty good update. But it may surprise you to know we already know some information about the next update. Nil actually gave us a sneak peek of the next update in this update log. There wasn't much new information. However, it does confirm both the PvP mode and Form Mastery will be in the next update. We don't have a confirmed release date yet. However, I do think it could be quite soon. As Nil has stated, the PvP mode will only be delayed slightly. The video's over.